Hey everybody, it's Matt from endsickness.org. Today we're going to be talking about long COVID health hacks. So this is going to be a great video for those who are suffering from COVID or know anybody that's personally affected by COVID. I personally was someone that suffered for about 3, 4, 5 months even after I got COVID. I didn't understand it was actually going to be as serious as it was. But I'm going to go through the things that helped me get out of that situation and feel better. So first and foremost, you have to understand that COVID is a viral infection that can alter the immune system's function. So you will have a situation where a lot of people are doing fine with certain foods, certain supplements, medication, then they get COVID, and it can actually change your reaction to these things. So it affects something called the mast cells. Mast cells are responsible for allergy-like reactions, and they're known as the main effector cell. They tell all the other cells what to do. Or most of the immune cells what to do. So number one on the list of things as a COVID health hack is you have to discover the hidden irritants and remove them, okay? These can be things in your diet. These can be things in your environment that you're inhaling. These could be supplements. These can be pharmaceuticals, right? So number one, you always got to check your diet, all right? The more ingredients you have in your diet and the more processed packaged foods, the more likely that we're having some type of reaction to something. What I like to do is have people create a dietary log, as I'll explain here in number 6, but you have to go through all the foods and identify which foods might be causing you a worsening of symptoms. The only way to do that really is to create a log. On the left-hand side, you write what you're eating, supplements you're taking, all that. On the right-hand side, you write down how you're feeling, right? And you start to make the connections between what you're eating and how you're feeling. If you have a shift in symptoms with long COVID, a flare-up, 9 times out of 10, it's going to be because of something that put into your body. Either something you consume, something you inhaled, but 9 times out of 10 is something you consume. So you have to discover the irritants in your diet. You also want to discover your supplements, what's causing you issues. A lot of time people take supplements, they think they're helping for a few days and they add them to their supplements long-term every day. I'm telling you right now, if you're taking something every day, most of the time after you get COVID and you got long COVID, you're reacting to things. As long as they are synthetic and as long as they are not known to be mast cell modulators, they're more than likely causing you an issue. You want to stick with things that have only been scientifically proven to calm down mast cells and are not synthetic. If they do not check the boxes there, then you're going to typically have an issue. In addition, you want them to help the gut, not tax the liver, and as I said, they must calm down the immune system, otherwise they will make everything worse. So you have to go through your supplements, make sure you're not taking the wrong supplements that are making things worse. Then you have to go through, if you're taking pharmaceuticals, I can't advise you on those, but I can tell you that people who have long COVID, a lot of the time are taking the same pharmaceuticals as they were beforehand, and guess what? Now they're getting a lot more side effects afterwards, and they don't associate it with the pharmaceuticals. So you have to be careful. In my experience, when you get long COVID, you have mast cell activation, which is very, very similar to it. You end up reacting to anything synthetic. I mean, that's the reality of it. Synthetics are the enemy in every way, shape, and form. Synthetic fragrances, synthetic vitamins, synthetic pharmaceuticals, all that, in my opinion, those were the biggest triggers. And I've seen that with myself and others also. So you have to remove the irritants after you discover them. Number 2, colostrum, bovine colostrum. Bovine colostrum is critical. It's a raw bovine colostrum is what comes out of the cow after they give birth, the first 12 hours. Over the course of that 12 hours, some amazing stuff is made inside the cow. You got antibodies, you got IgA, you got epithelial growth factor, you got various proteins, fats, etc. All the stuff that's critical for the body to calm it down. But most importantly, you have things that are antimicrobial for the stomach in colostrum, but then they also calm the immune system down too as well. So colostrum was critical for me because I got GI COVID. It really knocked my stomach out. I was having loose stools for 2-3 months. After it, colostrum really helped to normalize my stomach, get rid of any inflammation in the stomach, reduce the reactivity to certain foods that were more high ingredient foods. So colostrum was critical. If you want to learn about how to find colostrum, go to my YouTube channel or my website. I have a video on there about how to find colostrum, a bunch of tips. NanoSilver. NanoSilver is the smallest particles of silver available on the market. They're considered silver nanoparticles. They've shown in studies that silver nanoparticles can actually kill COVID. They've shown in studies that silver nanoparticles have an effect on various herpes viruses, Epstein-Barr, etc. So really, if you're trying to reduce viral load, in my opinion, the silver nanoparticles is the best strategy. There's a product by World Health Mall where they sell a silver product there. There's another one that is called silver hydrosol, and there's another one called Argentin. These are all silver that have the absolute smallest particle size, nothing like colloidal silver, far more potent in my experience. I ended up doing a cycle of about like 10 days on, 5 days off, did that a couple times, noticed a great increase in my stamina, and just how I felt in the morning when I woke up. I didn't have that flu-y, sick feeling that kind of lingered with me since I had gotten long COVID. The colostrum I did every other day, I did about 6 or 8 ounces, I want to mention that. So number 4, Japanese knotweed, one of the most important, Japanese knotweed root powder. I would do about 2-3 tablespoons of that every other day. I also added a Resveratrol, which is an antiviral. Both of these things have shown to be effective against COVID, Japanese knotweed root, even actually against live COVID. Japanese knotweed root contains resveratrol and Apigenin. These are 2 important phytonutrients that both have capability to calm down your mast cells, which, as I mentioned, is important for long COVID, to help to increase the bowel movements, which is helpful for detoxification, helpful for getting your liver to function better. And they're, as I said, they're broad spectrum antivirals, antibacterial. So knotweed is really important. To me, these 3 products made the biggest difference. What I did, as I said, was every other day with the colostrum. I did cycles of 10 days on, 5 days off with the silver. In the knotweed, I did every other day, 2-3 tablespoons. I'd mix in either carrot juice or prune juice, and I'd do an empty stomach first thing in the morning. The other supplements here, I tried a lot of other ones, but some that were helpful were like Baicalin, B-A-I-C-A-L-I-N. That's a phytonutrient from skullcap. Then Apigenin, A-P-I-G-E-N-I-N. That was also helpful. Probiotics and postbiotics, they didn't really help that much when it came to long COVID. I tried various ones. The only thing that seemed to help in terms of probiotics was bifidobacterium. There's a product by Seeking Health called Probiotics. And there was another product called Lactobacillus rhamnosus. All right, both of those are shown to be highly immunomodulatory, which is key when you got long COVID, because long COVID can knock out your bacteria in your stomach that are responsible for producing short-chain fatty acids and other immunomodulatory molecules. So very important to be able to keep the immune system calm. But really, number 1, the colostrum helped the stomach more than any of the probiotics, the postbiotics would. But the key you have to remember with supplements, all your supplements have to modulate mast cells, scientifically be proven to do it, even if it's in an animal study. Otherwise, it's not worth taking them. They can be making things worse, in my opinion. The therapeutic target is the mast cells in long COVID. I repeat, the therapeutic target is the mast cells in long COVID, okay? So, synthetic products, synthetic vitamins, major triggers. Number 6, lastly, you have to create a dietary log, symptom supplement log. It could be all the same thing. You write down on the left what you ate or what you took. You write down on the right how you felt in the next couple hours. If there's any shift in your symptoms, you write it down on the symptom side. You just put a line right down the middle, and once again on the left, you write down what you took, ate, experienced, inhaled, if you smelled something you're in some place, and then on the right, you put down how you felt. This will help you start to identify what foods are causing what supplements are making things worse, and you have to reduce the number of ingredients and the number of supplements. You have to reduce them to identify which ones are causing what problem. You can't take 10 supplements together and eat 7 things for breakfast and expect to be able to pinpoint the things that are helping and that are not. But the keys to remember are typically low histamine diet on the food, less ingredients the better. Packaged food is a no-no unless you have 1 ingredient, 2 ingredients in it. And vegetables, starches, fruits typically don't cause issues, but you have to pay attention to every fruit separately. And you have to make sure you're agreeing with everything you're putting in your body. Unless you create this foundation where you have food you're not reacting to, supplements you're not reacting to, pharmaceuticals you're not reacting to, air in your indoor environment you're not reacting to. Unless you do that, the rest of this is not going to be helpful. You have to remove the triggers, first and foremost. And the only way to do that is through this dietary supplement symptom log. And I help clients do that. It is critical to be able to get out of not only this situation, but a lot of autoimmune conditions. So if you have questions, put them in the comments, or feel free to reach out to me on my website again, which is nsickness.org. Thanks for listening, everybody, and I'll see you again soon.